1,
2, 3, 4,
5.
I want you guys to think about the last time you were asked a question. No, better yet, I want you to think about the last time you were given an assignment. Little audience participation, real quick, okay? Let's say you were given a prompt. It says, write a 3-paragraph essay about XYZ. How many of you are going to immediately get that prompt, read it, get out a piece of paper, start outlining, start writing, start using your own brain and thinking through the assignment? Okay, now how many of you are going to copy and paste it and put it into ChatGPT? Yeah, and that's the common consensus for a lot of people everywhere. And while that may be convenient, that might be easy, that might be, a way to get things quick and done, not great, not the best option. Because not only does it limit your thinking and harms you in the long run, but it also can spread misinformation. Most of the information you might write down could be very wrong. And also, the use of chatbots overall completely harms the environment. Not good. Today, I want you to listen. I want you to walk away from this speech and think a little harder about how ChatGPT and AI bots, generative AI in general, how they are so harmful to our society and our community. For starters, like I said, they weaken critical thinking skills. They weaken problem-solving skills. The over-reliance on chatbots like ChatGPT and Google Gemini, it hinders personal thinking. It hinders your own thoughts. It hinders your own thoughts and your own thinking. It pushes you away from independence. In an article written by Raquel Logan from IE University, it says the ease of assessing instant solutions has led to cognitive offloading, where individuals shift memory and problem-solving tasks to technology. We are handing over our lives to a robot, something that can't think, that can't feel, that lacks so much emotional intelligence, so much social awareness. All they know is what you're putting in. They don't know the context. They don't know anything. They're going to tell you what you want to know, and regardless whether it's right or wrong. It eliminates emotional integrity in everybody. Robots can't think. I think that is the main point that everybody can agree on. Robots don't think. They have no brains. What they know is what the internet tells them and how to string that along. Also, going on mentally, it limits creativity and original thinking. I haven't seen, my teachers are using AI generated pictures for their lessons. Next year it's becoming a part of the social curriculum for ChatGPT to be able to create assignments and grade things for people that are our age. That is becoming part of the standard curriculum of this school. How does that make y'all feel? Terrifying, right? Scary. We're putting the fate of our future, the young minds of the world, into the hands of something that doesn't have hands. No hands to hold. Uniform thinking is less than innovation. You hear this, I hear this all the time. Uniform thinking, conformity. It's in every dystopia book you'll ever read. It's in politics. You can look at the news and see it every day. Conformity is what destroys people. Look at the Nazis, okay? They were all following a specific goal, a shared goal, and it turned into a genocide. Conformity is what keeps people in a box, and it limits progressiveness. And as I was saying, students are the most affected by this. I mean, we're young. I mean, some of us are 18 and we think we're grown, which, I mean, by law we are, but our brains are still not fully developed. There is still so much, and especially freshmen, if you look at these freshmen, how influential, how impactful anyone could say. I bet you can think back to your freshman year and think of something that someone said and be like, and still think of that, and still realize that changed something in you, and you still act accordingly to that. That's what ChatGPT is doing to these kids. And people our age, people older. Older generations are easily gullible. They believe everything they see on the internet. ChatGPT is putting all of us in a box. But students are the most affected by this. Because, I mean, it makes it easy to complete assignments. It makes it easy to understand. But if you're doing that for everything, one, not only do you take away learning experience from yourself, you take away the opportunity to get these important life lessons to carry into your life, to carry into college. There are AI detectors everywhere. It's not going to get you far. But also, like, long-term knowledge. Some of these assignments that these teachers are doing, they're not just to learn the material. So you take them from the classroom and carry them elsewhere. If you're relying on ChatGPT to complete the assignments, you're not retaining any of that life lesson, any of that information. In an article in a health advisory article from American Psychological Association, it states both mechanic and generative AI have the potential to shape young people's development and understanding of the world. Adolescence is a critical period for brain development. So these very influential minds, these minds that are being shaped and formed by the education system, are being put in a cage by the lack of thinking and the depths and anything that they have to do their own. It's taking their independence and it's stealing what the intense and intellectual information that they have to share. Being sent in Socratic circles, I don't know if any of y'all have ever done that, but in English classes, they'll put you in a Socratic circle. You'll talk about a book and you'll share your thoughts and go person to person, and you're sharing intellectual lessons you learn, things about the book, the meaning of the book, and you take those things and you obtain them. ChatGPT can't do that. ChatGPT can tell you bullet point facts and it can answer questions for you, but it cannot tell you how it affects you. It cannot tell you how it affects you personally, and it doesn't make you think. It doesn't make you think about the world. And thinking is what drives this society and our world as a whole to be the best it can be. Also, moving on, most information from AI, not real. AI takes words from the internet, takes buzzwords from things that you look up, and it'll put everything in a box. But it doesn't, not all of the information is reliable. From the University of Maryland, in a research guide, it states, oftentimes answers provided by AI will be a mixture of truth and fiction. A typical AI model isn't assessing whether the info it provides is correct. Most likely, it strings together the most likely words that answer the prompt. So the information you're getting is personalized to you. It doesn't mean it's factual. It's all personalized to you. The goal within it is to take the prompt and answer it. It doesn't have to give the right answer. And because of this, because so many people use this, would you say 80% or more of your classmates use ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Would you say more than like 90?
Yeah.
Yeah. And misinformation, that fake information from that, spreads so quickly because so many people are getting it. So the false narratives that are being spread, you could look something up and it could tell you Joe Biden was born in 2000, okay? And if enough people look that up and enough people spread that information, not only is ChatGPT spreading that information, but also word of mouth is getting that out, and it's changing the complete narrative. It's stuff people will believe if they hear it enough. And the mental factor, I've stressed that over and over again throughout this speech, but also bigger picture, ChatGPT and generative AI bots and the data centers that it comes from ruin our planet, ruin the environment. Systems require massive amounts of energy. They take long times to run. They take a lot of electricity. Statistics from an article that John Corey wrote in the Lincoln Institution of Land Policy says early in the boom, in 2023, U.S. data centers consumed 176 terawatt hours of electricity, roughly as much as the entire nation of Ireland. Now, you guys might not know that. Ireland is one of the biggest electricity conductors in the world. And this was in the early stages. The beginning of development, and we know how development works, it only gets worse. It only gets worse. These facilities that they are making emit greenhouse gases and just a lot of pollution overall. So, in lack of better words, generative AI ruins the planet, not only because it limits your thinking and ability to be independent, but it also ruins the earth. So I want you to take away from this, I want you guys to just walk away and realize how awful generative AI to this. It might be convenient, but overall effects harm us completely.